Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Man, on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. Is it Tuesday?
It is.
It's a beautiful, cool Tuesday.
Yeah, we got a couple of Floridians in the old truck today. One of them's almost a year acclimated, and we got another one that's freezing his what's happening. So, come on.
As you can see, the many layers here.
Yeah, layers on layers on layers, as I got a light flannel and a long sleeve on. Well, for everybody that don't know, this is old Gary with Junk to Gems Homestead.
Howdy, howdy.
I added the homestead this time, just so y'all don't know. I will put his link in the description, and also, of course, the Dreamer back there, Drifting Dreamers 5. We are actually headed to town. We got to go run some supplies. We're going to get a tote.
Got to get another ICB water tote, guys.
Because when I was out of town last time, this guy right back here stuck Uber's forks through it.
You know, it's actually ironic that that we're all in the truck and that we're going to get this tote, because said night that I broke the tote was when you were flying back in from Florida.
Yeah.
And I was actually, and it was dark, and I was actually on the phone talking to Gary, and I was checking Facebook and YouTube messages, and I was trying to drive the tractor and lift up the water tote, and well, I stuck the forks right into the side of the water tote.
Well, I think what it was that water tote knew that it wanted to be more of a wood little crate,
right,
than anything.
It was identifying as a wood crate.
Yeah, it was identifying as a wood crate there. So basically, Mike's going to cut the front off of it more than likely and make like a little cage situation, because those water totes, they're very versatile. There's all kinds of little cool stuff you can do with them.
Yeah.
One of the things is to stack your firewood up in, and then you could just take your forks and move it to where you want. Like, you can take it out to your wood barn, load it all up, and then set it right by your front door.
Right.
If you have a wood stove or whatnot.
And we do plan on having a wood stove.
Yeah. And I've already got a wood stove, thanks to Biddy Boo.
Yeah, Dana, what's up,
Dana?
We love you.
Thanks to old Dana there. I got one of those. Just got to get some pipe and stuff like that and get it installed. I'm going to be doing the floors in the cabin here soon. And probably after that, I will probably go ahead and install it. Maybe. Because the problem is, it's right there at the eave on that cabin. They built that completely wrong. They got their 2x4s turned the wrong way and all kinds of stuff like that. You can't put insulation in there, yada, yada, yada. And I'm honestly thinking about going up a story with it anyway, so who knows if I'm going to install it or not. I'm not living in there right now, so it ain't that big of a deal. And also, I still have the old propane heater in there that caused the heat rising epidemic a couple of years ago.
Speaking of that heat rising, how was your sleep last night? Because Gary here actually slept in the loft of the cabin last night.
Yeah, I was comfortable. I barely had to use a blanket but one time. Other than that, I slept great.
Yeah. Now, anybody else would be roasting like a duck up there. But being that he's from Florida, it was perfect for him.
Yeah, I thought it was like perfect summertime sleeping.
I tell you what, if he'd have shut that ceiling fan off, though, boy, he'd have been like one of them turkeys in the morning where the butt pops out. He would have been cooked. I'm telling you, because heat does rise.
Roll me over and baste me.
Because heat rises. But actually, we had to do a little bit of work to even get to that point last night. Well, first of all, I had to take a little coupling piece, a little double mail-in thing off the hoses to get the propane heater in the tiny house to work. And so they picked one of those up on the way to the mountain last night, so we needed to do that. And then the heater hasn't been ran in like a year, and those little Mr. Heaters or Heat Buddies or whatever the hell it's called, if they get one little grain of dirt in there, all of a sudden it throws the sensor off, and it'll say that it's clogged or this or that, and it won't work. So we had to take it off the wall, blow out all the lines.
Yeah,
and all
we had the air
stuff.
compressor in there.
Yeah, but we got it done. We got it heated, which is kind of cool, because now it's something I needed to do anyways, and because I'm about to be working in there here shortly after I get back from Christmas. And I got a lot of winter projects inside of there. this winter, and I don't want to do it in 30 below.
Man.
You know, it's kind of funny too that some of your projects always seem to happen when you needed to do it, but now you have to do it.
Yeah.
And it works out pretty good.
Well, that's one way to keep things moving forward is steady put yourself in a situation where you have to do something.
Right.
But yeah, I've slowed down a lot here in the last couple of months as far as stuff, and I'm trying to focus more on have to type stuff right now than want to type stuff. Just because I'm trying to have a life, and I think I'm doing pretty good at it.
Yeah, listen, I still marvel and tell Alyssa all the time how amazed and proud I am that you've slowed down so much on work and have decided to have an actual life.
Yeah,
Man.
I definitely flip the switch come September, and I have my haters that want to talk booyah over it all or whatever, but it's my life.
That's right.
It's my life, and all work and no fun. Yeah. That ain't good, guys. And I'm a very responsible person whenever it comes to that. Like, I'm gonna put the work in. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna all that. That's always my responsibilities are always going to be done first. Always. But the amount of responsibility I put on myself sometimes is a little much. A little much. I take on a little bit more than I should have to a lot of times.
You should never feel the pressure of your own responsibility.
Yeah.
And I learned that a long time ago. Owning a construction company, it's just you can only do so much. So don't commit yourself too hard. Otherwise, you ain't gonna have no life and have no fun.
Yeah, and that's been the story of my life, my whole life.
Right.
The reason why I came here was to slow down a little bit, and I haven't been able to do that since I've been here because, for one, I was trying to survive. I didn't walk into this with a cushy house and just move in and just enjoy life.
Right.
I had to kind of make that.
Walked into a hunting cabin and said, "You better get right, or it's gonna get you right."
Yeah. And I told Gary, he was acting like he was cold last night. I said, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
When I stayed the night the first time in this cabin, it was 14 degrees with no insulation and no heater.
Yeah.
You've got insulation and a propane heater.
Right.
It's like the Ritz-Carlton.
That's what I was feeling like Taj Mahal up in there last night.
And ever since you said that, I've got that song stuck in my head now by Bon Jovi. It's my life, now or never.
But Gary is in awe right now.
He's stuck on the window like...
Yeah, with the beauty and stuff. That's why you see his head going out of the camera.
Keep going like, damn, that's cool.
He's looking at all the views. It takes a minute to get... I don't even know if you get used to how beautiful it is around here, because I've been here for almost 2 years, and I still get the odd moments from time to time.
Well, y'all, I was a truck driver, over-the-road truck driver, 15 years. So, I have been all through here, but, when you've been out of it for 20 years, you kind of forget the beauty, how beautiful it is out here. And then you come back and you're just like, wow.
You also don't appreciate it when you're doing something like that because you're working.
Yeah.
You're about getting from one point to the next. You see a whole bunch. So once you're here and you slow down and stuff like that, it kind of changes things a little bit to where you actually can appreciate it.
Kind of like now.
It's like driving in a truck versus a four-wheeler.
Right.
You know what I mean? What we see in this truck is one thing, but when I get on my four-wheeler, I see so much more.
Oh, yeah.
Not going as fast.
Not going as fast. Brains focused on what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not having to concentrate on one thing. On the four-wheeler, you can kind of relax a lot more and let your mind wander.
Yeah. So, and like the e-bikes. And if you get off the four-wheeler and get on an e-bike, you're even going to see more.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that when you're bringing one of those big old rigs through the mountains and all these curves and stuff like that.
You're more focused on that road than you are.
Yeah, you're focused on that asphalt, not that mountain view off to the side, because you might fall off of it around here.
California's the same way. Some of them two little mountain roads up through there, it's like, there is no guardrail. You're just looking down at 800 feet down.
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as this guy right here, he has been baptized by Arkansas already before he even got to Arkansas.
Yeah.
He had 3 tires fall off his trailer. His truck blew up.
Man, literally, truck blew up.
Yeah, blew the motor up. Almost caught it on fire.
Yeah, almost caught it on fire. Went and got a U-Haul, then had 3 tires fall off his trailer, literally, and pass him. I think his tires were trying to get here faster.
Hurry.
They were too, because I mean, I'm riding along, all of a sudden I see it out there in the side. What the heck's that? No, that's my tire.
You know, the funny thing, that's happened to my brother before. We've hauled trailers and stuff all around the country with our steel company back in the day. And my brother has the worst luck in the world with trailers, man.
Oh, man.
And he's had one dude, like, try to do, like, one of those Fast and Furious things where you climb up on the trailer while you're going.
Right.
He had that happen. A guy literally went up on his trailer going down the road. He's had tires pass him and all kinds of other stuff. So Arkansas has a way of humbling people.
Yeah.
And seeing if you're cut out to be in this area. And he's getting a full effect of it right now. And he's still got about 3 more loads.
Yeah, I sure got my fill of it. It's like, okay, you want to go out here? Let's see how much grit you really got to make it.
Yeah.
If you can get there, then I got you.
Yeah. But the cool thing about it is he's also seeing that the family will wrap them arms around you and make sure that it happens. Jen and Wiley has went above and beyond, and they have already went to, where was your truck at?
It was in Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama. They already
back.
Yeah, they dropped it off last night.
Truck's already back to where they're going to be staying. Went and, you know, because they got a record, and went and picked it up, got the truck off the side of the what's happenings, and got it back here safe and secure. White Rock over there is actually mobilizing and going back with these 2 guys. Mike's actually fit to make another trip to Florida to help load up the next load, and they're going to be turning and burning and coming right back. So yeah, I mean, we're going to get them up here one way or another, but it's a process.
Yeah, and just so y'all know, thank you so much for wrapping your arms around my family like that and just making this happen for us. I mean, this is like, it's really overwhelming to me and to Mary that everybody that, you know, doesn't really even know us. We know y'all, but we don't know y'all, you know?
Yeah, we met online, which is how most of us have met, you know? I mean, with Country Road Cure and Simple Life Reclaim, I mean, they was on one side of the country and I was on the other.
Yeah.
And that's how we met. Yeah, that's how we met, and we ended up coming together in the center of the country.
That's cool.
And, you know what I mean? And it's family at this point. And so it's just the way it works. And same thing with you guys, the subscribers. A lot of you guys have developed relationships and talked back and forth, and the community is just growing. It's growing and growing and growing, and I love it. And it's a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. I mean, we're all running from something, guys. And what we all was running from was a certain type of an environment that we was stuck in.
Yeah.
That didn't have that same mindset. You know what I mean? Here it's community first. It's not about you. It's about us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It takes the I factor out of it, and kind of where we all came from. We were surrounded by a lot of eyes.
Gary,
you know?
how many times would you say in the last 2 years have there been instances where somebody came and needed your help compared to how many times somebody came to help you?
I don't think I can count that high.
Right.
I mean, really. Like, I had a piece of property across the street from, and we had a couple of campers over there, you know, and I would, you know, people would reach out, can I, and I'm like, yeah, okay, well, let me hook you up. And then, you know, oh no, it's all about them, you know, it ain't about that. But the way I work in my world is, I'll help you first, and if I don't get it back from you directly, I don't care, because it's going to come back to me tenfold.
Yeah.
And look where I'm at now. I mean, all the help in the last couple of years that I've given out, it's all coming back to me now.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, Jen and Wiley have never met Gary.
Or Drew.
Ever. Or Drew.
Or Drew, yeah.
And to be able to come and rescue somebody, that feeling you get when you actually are the recipient of somebody pouring love onto you that don't know you and just wants to genuinely help you just to help, it's a whole nother feeling you're not used to. It's like
it was even a little overwhelming for me, and you know, even Drew on the phone a couple times, like, man, I don't want to keep bothering you. So Drew, you know, you're not bothering me. You're keeping me motivated to keep this going.
Yeah. y'all hear me talk all the time, guys, about love thy neighbor and
Mhm.
how that's a thing of the past, and it's something that we're trying to kind of bring back. And you know, I don't know how much of a difference we're out there making or whatever, but a lot of you guys comment on my channel and stuff about how refreshing it is to see that again. And that's what it's about. It's about love thy neighbor. We all kind of came from similar backgrounds where, to be honest with you, we was used. I know I was the rent-a husband, the rent-a son, the rent-a uncle, the rent-a this, the rent-a that, and all this other stuff. And then whenever I actually needed help, which was rare, because I'm a pretty self-efficient type person, it was like crickets.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Well, I was busy with all that I've done for y'all, but I made it happen. You know what I mean? People didn't make it happen for me, and I lived that life for most of my adult life, and I just couldn't do it no more. It was starting to affect how I looked at stuff, which was changing my beliefs and everything, and turning me into a person that I did not enjoy.
Right.
Because I am that person that wants to reach out and wrap my arms around somebody and help and watch people grow. You know, I don't hate, I appreciate.
That's
you
right.
know what I
Come
mean?
out.
I appreciate, you know, somebody's growth. I'm not gonna sit here and this person's doing good, and I'm gonna sit back here in the corner and be like,
Yeah.
that ain't how I roll. I want to see somebody soar, and I'm gonna try to fly beside them and say,
Yeah.
good job. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And if you start to drop a little bit, I'll give you a little wind boost.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, that's kind of the way I look at things. And man, to be in an environment in an area with so many people,
Yeah, not just a couple.
yeah, that are the same way. And then, you know, for the most part, it's not always that way, but for the most part, everybody coming in this community is the same way.
Yeah.
You know, you do have a couple outliers, I'm not going to lie. You're always going to have that in a community, you know what I mean? Because when you also have that, then you also have a few that look at it as, hey,
Oh yeah.
let me take advantage of that.
What can I get out of that?
You know what I mean? But it don't take long, guys. I'm not going to lie. It don't take long to sniff that out.
Yeah. When you're in a community like this, that stands out.
Yeah.
Hey, what authenticity is one thing you can't fake. How is it? You know what the saying is.
Yep.
Real recognize real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and what is it? Iron sharpens iron.
That's right.
Or whatever. And another cool thing about it is we're all pretty dominant personalities.
Yeah.
And most of the time, that doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Everybody's butting heads.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But being that we have the belief system that we have or whatever, it all works. And it just, anytime we've done like a big project or anything like that, it's like everybody just falls into their place.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it just works out. There's, you know, I might be leading one day on a project, and the next day I might be the laborer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just like, you know.
And nobody got any hard feelings about it.
No,
you know?
there's no power trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just about, let's get this done.
And that is so rare because humans, as a nature, want to have that power trip.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want to feel in control. They feed off of it. And to be around people that doesn't need that need, it's an incredible feeling.
I mean, just the other day, I mean, as a prime example of that. Normally on projects on my mountain, I'm the lead.
Oh, right.
You know, but when we did that patio well shed, I was the laborer.
Right.
I was sitting there popping plastic things, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, it was driving me crazy.
I told Uncle David, I said, listen, I've already done this. I already know what goes where. I'm already familiar with the pieces. I know kind of what's happening. I really need you to take these little bitty screws and these little bitty washers and just keep putting them together. Because when you think you're done, I'm going to need another 100.
Right.
And so like...
I'm over there sitting on a break.
and every now and I'd be like, hey, I need you to get up and hold this, clamp this, do this. And I'm just... Bloop, bloop, bloop.
And that's weird for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird for me, but I was so grateful that he was helping me with it. It wasn't a big deal because that's where I would have been the strongest in the project because I've never done it before. And that patio well shed was the easiest one that was put up out of the whole family.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Because somebody's already done it. You know, so the ability to be able to step back, give up control and all that other stuff, or step up when you need to step up, is something that we all have in us around here. And that is something big that I have noticed. And in our own worlds, we're dominant.
Yeah.
But then when we come together as a community, we are whatever needs to happen.
You know what the perfect example of this is? And this is a little bit of beans that nobody knows about. This is the first time this has been spoken of since it happened. When we tore down the cabin that you gave us, the abandoned pig pen that you gave us. Shots fired.
Inside joke.
That's an inside joke, guys. When that day came, Uncle David gave me full reins for that project because that was my project. He wasn't in charge of that project. Gary and Anthony at Country Road Cure, that was my project. I was directing everything. And when the time came down to pull down the trusses, we were coming to the conclusion that things were a lot worse than they were. And I'm starting to come unfrazzled because it's not working out the way I wanted it to. And I'm starting to like really come unglued. Uncle David and Gary and Anthony, all of them stepped up and came together and was like, listen, I know you want this to happen. I know you wanted to go this way, but you got to look at it from there. And then, you know, their leadership and their ideas brought in the perspective to where I could see it. Okay, let's do it this way.
Yeah, you got to be able to adapt.
And I didn't have no power trip on that, you know? It's not like I was, I don't want to do this because this is my place, whatever.
Because the first part of the day, I was literally sitting on the tractor, and whenever we was trying to figure it all out, I would constantly remind Mike, this is your project, buddy, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I don't like, what do you want me to do?
I don't even have to agree with it. If it's what you want, it's your project, and we're going to do it.
Break something.
I told Mike, I said, the only way I'm intervening is if I feel something's not safe for the people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Besides how you want to do this and what you want to save and all that, I don't care. I'm here to make Uber make it happen. Right. You know what I mean? And then, you know, it went well throughout the day. And like he said, you know, as we dive into it, and projects like that you have where you don't know what you got until you start getting into the guts of it a little bit or whatever, then we had to totally regroup. And he was frazzled at that point. And also he had all of us there with our time, which, you know, we care about each other's time, right? Because we're all very busy people. So that, I think, is where the frazzle part was coming in, because he's like, I done got everybody over here and it's not going as planned and stuff like that. But instead of having we just came together as a community and boom, made it happen. So everybody around us is that type of person.
Right.
So I don't know how we got on this huge community kick this morning or whatever, guys. But a little bit, I guess, deeper insight of what's really happens behind the scenes here, because y'all see a small part of it, but it's not just for the cameras, guys. Yeah. I mean, what you see is who these people are.
It's not what makes us tick on the camera. This is what's making us tick in real life.
Yeah.
Love where you live.
Look at that. Yeah.
I love that.
But guys, we are in town now, and I've literally done went around the block twice because we're just sitting here hanging out with you guys, and it's such a beautiful morning, and I love talking to y'all, and I love bringing y'all into the insight of this or whatever, because y'all are also part of this family. You know what I mean? Y'all help make all this happen or whatever, and all of y'all's emails and stuff that we get saying that you're implementing stuff like we're doing and stuff in your life is expanding that community even further into sub communities. You know what I mean?
Like our friend and subscriber Annabore, her and her husband are moving from like Indiana down to Kentucky or Tennessee or something like that to start their life, and we inspired them.
Yep, exactly.
And I think that's so cool that we can, that we're in this position to where we can inspire other folks to make your dreams happen.
Yeah, it's just amazing, and honestly, I hope it catches fire, guys.
Amen.
I hope the Love Thy Neighbor movement. I'm gonna call it a movement. Back in the day, it just used to be the thing, but now it's not so much anymore. So we're gonna call it a movement. I hope the Love Thy Neighbor movement just expands and grows and goes worldwide, because I truly think this is the best way to live.
We need to hashtag that.
I was just thinking that, Gary. Hashtag
Love Thy Neighbor moment.
Yeah. But I love every single one of y'all guys. It is Tuesday. I want y'all to take a matter of fact, being that we're talking about all this community and all this wrapping your arms around everything, take a huge step today for y'all's goals, guys. Big one. Today's the day to just pull that trigger.
Yeah.
Pull that trigger, guys. And also reach out to somebody that you ain't talked to in a while. They might need that phone call today, or that message on Insta, or whatever is your deal right there. Or maybe even sit down and do something like old school and just do a nice little handwritten note just to tell somebody that you love them, you miss them, and that you hope you can reconnect.
And David, if you don't mind, you know, being this time of year, being a veteran myself, y'all, there are veterans out there that are really starting to struggle with this time of year. So if you know of one, just reach out and give them a positive word, man. You'd be surprised how that makes a difference in their world too.
Okay, well, let's be clear. David ain't never gonna mind about veterans.
That's right.
Okay, because that's huge for me. And I've actually got a video coming out talking about mental health and mental awareness and all that, and about how this time of the year is very tough for a lot of people.
It is. It was tough for me for a long time.
It's tough for me.
Yeah.
It's tough for me just not being around my kids, my grandkids. Holidays is a big time of the year for me, and also loved ones that ain't here no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? My grandfather was huge on Christmas and stuff like that, and he was a veteran. Matter of fact, he retired twice.
Damn.
He retired with the Navy, pretty high up there, and then went back as a civilian and worked for the Navy again and retired again.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And he's been gone for quite a few years now, and you know, I think about him a lot during this time because he was a pretty big influence on my life. So it's a tough time of year, guys. So yes, definitely do that. But while you're doing all of that, guys, it's very, very important to always keep it real. Come on.
Amen. Come on.